Hey guys, what's up? It's Schlaw coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schlaw. And today we're continuing to try this experiment with starting the recording, quite a bit in advance. I probably should be doing this anyway to maximize recording duration. Just makes the most sense, honestly, but some days it's not going to be feasible, but I think I might as well do this, get into a habit of doing it. I think when the severe cold kicks in, it's going to be a bit tricky to pull off. And speaking of the severe cold, I actually need to get my gloves ready now. It is becoming that time. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, but the gloves actually need to be utilized. So, let's get things under control here. Let's see. Double check. Yeah, that's fine. And then we should be ready to roll. Let's see. Yes. Good to go. Now, what I realized today, and I'm kind of annoyed I haven't been doing this sooner, is a pretty good idea that you may actually see on the channel at some point soon. Well, don't get your hopes up yet because it's not too soon. Remember the walk switch schlaw idea and how it didn't really pan out because it was very hot, and so it was super sweaty with, and the mic, it's all bulky and clunky. Well, I had been doing a lot of interactions with GPT using the transcribe tool because, I don't know, during my breaks and stuff, I think of things that I'd like to ask. And so I end up asking, inquiring to GPT about, how off or correct I am on certain things. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But anyways, I've been doing that for a while, and I realized, the problem is, yes, it's stuff getting recorded in text form, which is great. It's great that it's somewhat archived. But why am I not also recording this stuff? Because text does not capture, I think, a lot of the pizzazz. I mean, don't get me wrong, the content of my speech is pretty good, or at least, I'd hope that on its own, if it were to be read, I would hope that the content of my speech is entertaining and it's good and all that. I would hope that people would think that, but I'm not. I think the inflection and the tone of my voice, the way I talk, and it's valuable. It's valuable to have that also chronicled. And so today, for the first time, I tried it, and it was about a 7-minute dialogue, and it was just using the AirPod mic, so it doesn't sound great, but I still really liked listening to it, and it's just like a 7-minute section, but it's a little bit more on command than the Car Rides with Schlaw. Because, see, Car Rides with Schlaw, it's just this routine thing that I do. It's very, it can kind of weigh a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really know, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard because I'm driving and it's so long. Sometimes my messages, it gets kind of scrambled. Something happens while I'm driving. Things get scrambled, And it's just we've been here before. There's plenty of recording to explain this phenomena that occurs with car rides with schlaw. So that's kind of where we're at. But the thing is, these potentially shorter segments are going to be much more focused, right? Because they're much shorter, and they're like when I have a very specific thing that I am inquiring and curious about. So it ends up working out a lot better. It actually, I feel like it was more engaging, or it was more concise. Not that there's necessarily, like, I'm not going to stop car rides with schlaw. It's a completely different vibe. I know the original vision for this was to be more of a real-time conversational experience, more so than anything refined. But I think these shorter clips could really be a good additional layer of content to have layered on top of the car rides with schlaw. It's pretty. This guy behind me is really, I'm not sure what he's doing. These people are acting like crazy. It's weird. It's getting like way too close to me for no reason. Anyways. So yeah, what is there to talk about? Sorry, lost my train of thought. My bad, my fault. Anyways. Yeah, so there's been a lot of recordings that now I wish I had, and I sort of thought of it a while ago, but I didn't act on it because it's very frustrating, because my 16 Pro Max is the phone with the studio mics, but then the problem is it's the thing with the data, and you need data in order to do the transcription with GPT. I know, very annoying. I guess I could get a different transcription app, honestly. I probably should look into that. I've just used the one. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? It's like, what? Yeah, I probably could just get a different transcription app. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Because there's probably like an offline. I don't know what is going on. This truck is like merging in, and this guy was trying to merge in too behind me. I don't know what. It seemed kind of crazy. Anyways, yeah, that's probably how we would do it. It just gets very annoying to, like, for the car, this microphone is good, but I had tried it before. We had actually did a walk switch schlaw. I believe it got uploaded, but I'm going to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually wonder. I hope they got uploaded. I'd have to check. Yeah, I actually don't know if those ever saw the light of day, because I mean, they're probably still on here. I'll have to check. I think I uploaded them. Maybe I just did a lot less than I thought. But I think ultimately the mics built in to the 16 Pro Max are really good microphones, and I wonder, like, I'd really just need the plug-in, the thing that just plugs in on the end, because that's super easy. It's actually, I mean, you wouldn't think it's easier. I mean, maybe if I had a wireless mic. It's just because when you have the plug and the phone in the pocket, I know I'm like sounding crazy, because it's like that was my life all in high school, was wired earbuds and you know, the wire going from the pocket. I didn't even have wireless AirPods. I hated that. I didn't want the Bluetooth, and honestly, back then Bluetooth wasn't really as good. I eventually, I think right at the end of high school, got Bluetooth earbuds, but they were kind of terrible. I don't really think I did research, or no, I think at that point I didn't have a debit card yet, so I just had to buy whatever I could find in stores that it kind of looked good or it seemed good. The case was also like a power bank. I liked that. It kind of just had decent features, but the audio quality was pretty poor. So I had those, but they were pretty bad. So I did, that didn't really work. Now AirPods are the AirPods Pro, and really it was the Pro 2s that finally got Bluetooth audio right in like a really comfortable, mainstream palatable format. And so I just happened to find an AirPod Pro first gen on the ground, and I was really impressed by its design. It seemed like a really good design, because prior to then I was really resistant. I didn't like getting Apple things because I liked to think that there must be some better brand, if that makes sense. I was convinced that there's ought to be something better or unique. I don't want to go with Apple. But when I saw this AirPod Pro on the ground and the shape of it and the design, it really impressed me a lot. And I especially loved the tactile click of taking the ear tip on and off. It was really an amazing experience. So by then, the second gens, I think, were, I actually don't remember. I guess they were only like not a year old yet, but I'll just say under a year old, but not super new. And I just went out and bought them. Well, actually, my number could be really off because now I'm going to get caught. It was when the USB-C version just came out, and I really wanted the Lightning version because I just like the Lightning port. And so that's kind of silly. My AirPod Pro 2s, I could have got the USB-C, but I really wanted the Lightning. And kind of a stupid choice, I know, but I love the Lightning port. It feels very good. And I don't have a reason for the USB-C at all, because I don't take advantage of any fast charging. I like slow charging using the old 5-watt Apple charging brick. So I would prefer they have just stuck with Lightning, but it's fine. There's obviously benefits to using USB-C. It's better. But anyways, that was just my whole kind of point I was trying to get down. But yeah, and so the Pro 2s, I've never actually heard the Pro 1s, but a lot of people reviewing it, really, it seemed like the consensus was that the Pro 2s improved on audio quality a lot. And then, now the Pro 3s should be better, but the equalization is a little bit different. So, some people still like the 2s, but you get what I'm like. It, in terms of the technical ability, it should actually be slightly better on the 3s, although probably not quite as noticeable. Probably not quite as noticeable of a jump as the 1s to the 2s. I notice a lot of people going pretty fast tonight. I don't really know why we need to be doing that, people. So yeah, now personally, I like what they did with the 3s, but I don't really like the extra bass. funny story. Here's another thing for me to ramble about. I actually used to love bass. I don't really know why. I had this like obsession with bass boosting, and I still don't know why, because I don't even like doing it. Like now I actually like just a very neutral to even bright soundstage. Isn't that weird? Like my taste and I don't know, I don't like bass boost at all now. So the rest of the tuning they did, which was more of a treble boost, I think is good for me. But the bass boost, especially in the sub bass, not really too into it. I think it kind of makes sense strategically for an earbud to have a little extra sub, especially due to potential fit imperfection, and especially me, like I go with the extra small tip for comfort, even though the extra small is probably a better seal. I don't really care. It still seals pretty good with the extra small, and bass and everything seems completely fine. So having the little extra sub, it probably makes sense, but it's probably a little bit higher than I'd like. I really like the punchy bass. I don't really like sub bass that much. I never really have. I like punch. I like the impact. So the more mid bass has always been my thing that I like, but it's okay. I think I'm at peace with it, but honestly, in a side-by-side comparison, I kind of like the signature of the twos more. I think they went a little bit extreme with these threes, and it's mainly in the bass like, I don't know, but I fix it pretty simply. I just go into headphone accommodations and put the balanced tone on, which really fixes it. I love whatever that does. I think it brightens it slightly, but it lifts the mids, and I love that sound so much. So I've been really happy with those earbuds. So it's definitely been a journey. Although my minor qualms with the AirPod Pro 3 design is it's a little bit more like professional. It's definitely better, but it's not as comfort or casual focused. Like the original AirPod Pro 2s have a super comfort, super casual oriented design. But these AirPod Pro 3s have a very like rigid and definitely more sound optimized shaping and all that stuff. I feel like it goes deeper in the ear a little bit, and it's good, but for me, I kind of like the chill casual nature of it, of the previous ones. That's just me. I don't know. It's all good though, because they fit my ears so well. The old ones did not. The old ones would slip out. These don't slip out. So the fit is a lot better because they're smaller, and the other ones were too big for my ears because I have pretty small ears. So I'm so happy to finally have earbuds that I love. It's just, again, that sound signature is a little bit weird because I'm honestly becoming kind of a treble head. I don't really like bass. It just doesn't sound great anymore to me. I don't know why. Like when I was younger, I loved bass. Bass just like, oh my gosh, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I just completely I don't know what happened. It's just stupid. I love treble, but I think mids are important too. Can't even remember what the origin of this conversation was, because it definitely got off track, and I've kind of been driving pretty fast. I'm probably going to end up being home I've been pretty close to 60, which is not, I really like to keep it 55, but I think I've talked about before, I'd support a federal 55 mile per hour speed limit, unless it's a road with, some really long highway that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, maybe it's fine to speed a little bit. I think it depends on the car too. I think if you have something like a Corvette, I don't think the speed limit should apply to you in the same way, because it's actually the efficient speed is going to be higher, especially with a V8 and such a low to the ground designed car. Anyways, I don't really remember the origin of this conversation because I do now. So the AirPod Pro 3 mic, it's pretty good, but it's still not great. And basically, I'm wondering if I should just get one of those mics that just plugs in on the end of the phone, because surprisingly, I feel more comfortable doing that. It's very easy to just walk around and hold my phone near my mouth than to put this apparatus on. Now, obviously, while I'm driving, this is a lot easier. But while I'm walking, honestly, I don't like it. It's just like very kind of cumbersome and I'm not into it. And I think it's going to wear the wire a lot more and a lot faster, which recently have been thinking about. I should have definitely bought a spare of these, because if this ever breaks, I'm really going to have a meltdown. I don't even know what I would do. So that is not a good situation, obviously. Because then I don't know what I'd do without this show. So I'm thinking I should actually potentially look into one of those ones that just plugs in on the end of the phone, because then I could use any phone, because I really still would want to use the 16 Pro Max with GPT. I just like it's got the fastest CPU I have, but it's got the data right on there, so it can just go right into it. Although I guess I should make note to look into a third-party transcription app. There could be a better one, and I should definitely look into that, I think. Right. I'll look into that and try to figure that out. Obviously. But yeah, I don't really know what else to mention. Yeah, I was just looking into the third party transcription app. But if I get a USB-C mic that just plugs right on the end of the phone, it's going to expand the phones that I can use. And it's probably going to be a better mic, although I have to be careful because wind rejection is going to be a pretty big deal, because this is going to be outside, and I'm going to have to figure this out. Definitely going to have to figure it out. That's kind of the answer. Stuff I want to think about, but stuff I definitely want to do, because again, it's like there's a lot of extra content that could be made this way. I tried car rides with schlaw, walks with schlaw, but I didn't like it. And I'm realizing that maybe it's not the right format for walking. It's just not. Like, while I'm walking, I'm going to want to ask, like, I might have just a shorter, concise point, and then I want to stop. And so that's why I don't want this whole thing wired up to me, because it's just awkward. It's just very awkward to be having it like this. I don't know. And I've even thought about incorporating GPT right here, because I can have it right in my phone thing, and I could start transcripting segments of the episode, if I thought it was relevant. I'm probably going to do that at some point too. But yeah, I think the only other thing to keep in mind is I might want to get a case for my phone, just so I can hold two phones together without worrying about damaging the phone, because my 16 Pro Max still does not have a case. So I should probably get a case for it. I believe it's the second phone I've owned, because I actually don't think I ever bought a case for the 14 Plus. So maybe I will look into that. I would like a very high quality case. Just don't want my 16 Pro Max to get harmed. And I think it would be easier if I just like laid two phones on top of each other flat, as opposed to having to hold one phone in each hand. That's kind of silly. So it could get complicated, and I believe that would be the ideal situation, is to just have a case on both phones, and then I don't have to worry about them like scratching each other and stuff like that. So definitely, I mean, this is definitely what I'm thinking of doing, the USB-C, because that way I don't, and it could be better, but I honestly wonder, because that 16 Pro Max built-in mic is supposed to be really good and really good at wind rejection, so it would be perfect for outside. I mean, maybe I don't need to buy anything. We'll have to see what I end up like thinking or doing, I'll obviously be thinking about it probably tomorrow, and then hopefully make some kind of purchasing decision tomorrow. Figure out a plan. So, yeah, that's the plan, right? It's what I think I will look into tomorrow. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, it's kind of exciting stuff, because I guess kind of want to repeat it, because I just like how it rolls off the tongue. Again, I tried car rides with walks with schlaw, but it's just not right for that. Like, that's not what walks with schlaw was meant to be. So that's why that didn't work, because I don't want to be during my break at work like walking and having to have this continuous monologue. In the car it's perfect, because I'm in the car anyway, and it's like, it's chill, it's fine, there's no problem being in the car and dealing, just talking like this. I mean, it's good, it's very good. I don't know, I never had any problem with it. But walking, it's like all strapped up. It's just like a little bit crazy. But while I walk, I may have a certain idea that I just want to get down. And so then that works pretty well, obviously. It ends up working out very well. So, just an interesting tidbit for me to share, an update, if you will. Again, it's just not worth. Oh, it's also because I'm sitting. Like, obviously, if you're sitting, it doesn't matter that the cable. It all makes sense. Like, the wireless doesn't matter in the car, but when you're walking, it matters. And a lot of the wired earbuds I had would break. It really was not a comfortable situation. Then I also have to haul around this whole, yeah, it's crazy. I think it would be much more discreet to have, and I just like it. I just like talking into the phone. It's easy, makes sense. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy that I finally figured this out, but at the same time, I'm very depressed, because it took a very long time for me to finally be here and get here. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know why. It's a shame. There's a lot of really good conversations I had, but like I said, I guess we're just gonna have to, I don't know. It's a shame. Lots of really good ideas and stuff, but I think it'll help with the content, because it will kind of diversify my content, and there will hopefully, because again, I don't want to get my hopes up. I may never feel like doing this. I don't want to pressure myself, but it could diversify my content a little bit. So you have like car rides with schlaw is its own thing, but I can also just have these random episodes that are just, it's like a short and concise point. That makes a lot of sense for a video. This is fine as a series, but this is probably never going to do numbers. But this like concise focus, like when I feel a thought and I actually want to talk about it, that's very concise. It's different than a diary. With car rides with schlaw, it's really something that needs to be combed through and edited for certain moments, or it is more of like just a rough draft kind of practice thing. But these short thoughts, which I mean they could be anywhere from, they're probably just single digit minutes. I mean they could be long. They could, like the one today was 7 minutes, which I'll probably just post, even though it has the AirPod Pro 3 mic. I'll just post it. I mean, I still enjoyed listening to it. It didn't really faze me that much. So I'll probably just post it. It's like 7 minutes long, and that'll be episode 1 of, I don't know, Tidbits by Schlaw or something. I'll come up with some name, but I kind of like that. Quick Cuts by Schlaw. Like I like naming things. I like Tidbits by Schlaw though, because like tidbits by bit by, like I kind of like Tidbits by Schlaw, but that's going to be a lot. I think the content there, some of my better, I mean it's more of a question, because a lot of times I'm asking GPT, so it may sound kind of off, but it's still interesting, and I think it's definitely worth recording. So I don't know why I haven't been recording it. Again, it randomly crossed my mind, but then it's like, I don't know. So now the curious thing is today, then I'm thinking, wow, like it would be really nice to have the iPhone Air as like a GPT buddy, because it's like this thin, light phone, efficient, and I could just use it for GPT, and I really like that idea. But, it's just like spending more money on something I don't really need. But I really do like the idea of the iPhone Air a lot. I would personally appreciate it, just because I don't use a lot of battery life on my phone. Like even as is, I don't even know. I just don't use a lot of battery life. So the Air would be totally fine. I mean, I know it would be less than I'm used to, but I'd have no problem with it. So I hate that it's not doing well. I wish more people would buy it. And I kind of want to buy it, but I probably won't. I mean, it's just unnecessary, but I really do like it. I like it a lot. I would like to have it personally, and it's just an extra. But I really do like it. I like that little guy. I think it would be very, very good as just like a GPT phone. It's dedicated to GPT, and that's it. Like that's probably all I'd use the phone for. Seems like such a good fit, because it has the latest CPU. It runs fast, but the cooling's not as good as the Pro Max, but it doesn't matter, right? Because if I'm just using GPT, it can't possibly get that hot. It just can't. The only thing that is bad is it doesn't have the better microphones that the Pro phones have. So that is really annoying. I think if it had that, that would really be the icing on the cake, but kind of revisiting and reconsidering the iPhone Air, just because it seems like, I don't know, if I can get one for really cheap, I think I'll low-key start looking on eBay. Oh, well then of course it's like, how great is that's not going to help their sales if I buy it secondhand, but I mean it is what it is. I'm very interested now though in it. Oh, but I'd probably see. I'm not gonna. Then it gets tricky because I think they're gonna be resold for fairly low on eBay. But I'd probably want to do it with the Boost Mobile free plan thing because I really would want it to have its own service. Yeah, so that kind of. And then it is just a full $1,000, which is like not really something I'm interested in considering. I don't know. And I guess Boost Mobile is only $20 a month or 25 maybe. I guess I could just find some cheap carrier to on but again, a lot of these cheap, yeah, it's tricky, but I do want it. I do really want the Air. And I'm starting to realize that it is just a better fit than the 17 Pro Max for me. It's like a perfect fit for me. I'd love to have the Air. So I might honestly consider it. And so I guess maybe that's why I waited things out a little bit. So, yeah, I actually stay tuned on that because I'm definitely considering it. Like, I don't know. I'm honestly think it would be very cool to have. A lot of people don't have it. They're not getting it. It's unique. And I personally really like the concept, so I don't know if I'd make it my main phone, but we'll see. Maybe I will. Who knows? I don't know. Anyways, it's been Schlaw, but now it's time to buy Schlaw. So, see you, Schlaw.